Do not fall into the trap of, oh, I'm going to do everything myself because no one else can do it better than I can. So today's session, how an EA helps with onboarding new customers. Really quick about a little bit about myself. My name's Dave. I'm the founder of Design Source Media, which is a web design development agency. Also the founder of DSM Talent, where we help agencies find talent in the Philippines. And I've been running the agency for over 13 years now. I currently manage a team of 19 and husband and father of 3 kids. So that's a little bit about me, context-wise. And today, the session, we're going to be covering tasks that you're doing right now that you really shouldn't be doing, and some of the typical agency bottlenecks. And what is an EA? And I get that question all the time. Dave, what's an EA? It's like a virtual assistant? Pretty close. And why should you have one? And then also how our EAs, like my EAs, help with onboarding. Okay. So here are some of the things most agency owners are doing that really shouldn't be doing. Administrative and operational support. So think of like calendar management, email management, office supply, equipment management, basic invoice, expense management, social media management, researching competitors, the new trends, and meeting support. Initially, I had to do all these things like research leads, maintain my CRM system, scheduling calls, organizing sales deck, follow up emails. And you may even be at a point where, what's a CRM? I don't have a CRM. CRM, customer relationship management system. How do you track all the John Smiths, like all your prospects, all your clients? Where are they at? What is their email, contact information? Are they ready to buy? What's your sales pipeline? Keeping track of all the information somewhere. And it's a lot of work. And initially, yeah, you're doing it yourself. You should, so you learn the process. But you need to hand that off because that way it will free up your time to do other things. Team and project coordination, internal meeting prep, task tracking, reporting, project management, research, right, for the project itself. These are all the things that you can be avoiding, and you want to get to the point of freeing yourself from your day-to-day, because if you don't, next thing you know, you're going to be trapped in this situation for 5 years or plus in that scenario, and it's just no fun. Now, core problem, like some of the hidden bottlenecks: stuck in the weeds, busy with administrative tasks, slow growth. Every hour spent on non-core tasks is an hour not spent on strategy. And one of the things Dan Martell says is, if you're doing assistant work, then you are the assistant, right? So you don't want to be the assistant here. Missed opportunities. Daily to-dos prevent you from creating business strategies. Client onboarding delays. Delays can create poor first impressions and slow project kickoffs. Because as soon as a client signs on, we want to move even quicker, right? We work so hard on the prospecting lead gen part, and finally we have the sale. And it might even not be that hard. It might be a referral, right? But you want to think about how you got that referral. It was from someone that you know, that you built a relationship with, and they referred you. You don't want to let that person down. So now you work really hard to get to this point, and now you're on to onboarding and it falls short. You don't want that to happen. A client onboarding delays, you want to prevent that. So let's talk about EA. Here are 4 big points for an EA. So what is an EA? Really, first point is a strategic partner. Don't think of them as just an assistant. They're actively aligning with what you're doing and really understanding you as the executive, as the CEO, as the president, and saying, all right, this is what Suki or Dustin needs to do today, this week, this month. And emails are coming in. What can I do as their EA to help them reach and achieve their goals? Strategic partner. And every morning I talk to my EA. My EA is here right now, Eliza. And it's almost like my therapy session. Hey, what's going on today? What's on my schedule? Oh, what about this? What about that? Should I move that? Right? And Eliza's like, yeah, we should make that adjustment. Oh yeah, don't forget, what about this too? So I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, right? And just having kids alone is pure chaos. But you tack that on with client requests, team requests, and all of this workload, and we're trying to push and grow and scale, right? That's a lot. And so strategic partner in the morning, and then operational linchpin manages critical workflows and communication, ensuring seamless execution of priorities. There's a lot of things. One thing I don't want to fall into the trap of is just sticking my head into the weeds. And sometimes you do. You got to close the door, lock yourself in a room, and just focus on the work itself. But a lot of times, as you grow your agency, especially in the beginning, there's a lot of things that need to be built out. And sometimes priorities will be misaligned. So having that EA help you, assist you on reprioritizing things and things that are a priority, getting those priorities done quicker will help you grow your agency much faster. And proactive problem solver, anticipator, right? Identify potential challenges and opportunities, offering solutions before they impact you. So it might be an email coming in from a prospect saying, hey, I'm interested. I'm ready to sign. Where do I sign? Your EA can respond to that. Oh yeah, a client just onboarded. Okay, I know David's in a meeting. I'm going to forward the next steps for this new client because they just signed up and they're ready for onboarding. I'm gonna kick off the onboarding for Suki and for Justin. And guardian of executive time and focus. So there may be block off times where it's like focus times throughout your day or throughout your week. And during those times, your EA is taking on all the phone calls coming in, all the emails, all the calendar. So that way you can focus on the work in itself. So key traits, like what I look for in an EA. Number one, being organized, right? Proactive and resourceful. Number two, number three, strong communicator. Four, tech savvy because it's all remote work. There's a lot of changes, AI. Tech is a big piece of what we do. And detailed oriented, trustworthy and discreet because they have full access to my emails. They have access to my credit card and all this like confidential information, right? And adaptable and flexible, thrives in fast-paced and ever-changing environment. Because it's not like this big corporation. In our small agency world, we're moving extremely fast and we're changing gears extremely fast. So it's not just, oh, we're doing this one thing for the next 4 hours. It's every 30 minutes. It might be, okay, we go from marketing to, oh, we need to talk to a client, sales, and then, oh, we need to put out a fire, operations, all within 1 hour. So how your EA helps in every part of your agency. And really your EA should be your first hire. And it's okay if you already have other hires and contractors, that's fine. If I had to restart from the very beginning, I would hire my EA first. And here's some examples. Professional scheduling. Eliza, my EA, said, hi, Dave, has replied to your email. And so this is a message to me, like these are some of the times, and it's already been scheduled and a screenshot on the calendar, on my Google Calendar. And also data collection. So before a call with someone like brand new, let's say we don't have any information about that individual, inside our CRM, my EA would collect the name, the company that they're part of, which is the account, their title, a department, email, phone, and then some highlights. So it might be, okay, they're the co-founder or the founder of this company or multiple companies. They like to play pickleball. This is their LinkedIn profile. This is their Instagram profile. They are married with 2 kids. All this information, context-wise, I have much more context before I go into the call. During the sales call or during the conversation, I want to talk about stuff that the person cares about, right? I might enjoy playing pickleball, but they might not. So why would I bring that up? Email management and inbox zero. So in this case, Eliza saw an email come in and she's responding. This is in Slack. Hi, Dave. I drafted a response for this client. Let me know if it's okay with you after the AU meeting, right? So this was actually during an AU session. An email came in. She already created the draft. And then here's the response. And then I would say, please confirm with another person on our team. Everything looks good. Awesome job. So that's my response there. Then we also have an SOP on how inbox zero works. So let me show you what my inbox looks like right now. This is what my inbox looks like. This was not like that 5 years ago. Okay. What it looked like was like most people's inboxes. There was this number here in the inbox. It was like 40,000 emails. So what happens is during inbox zero, you have to file email bankruptcy. Okay. So you can't go through 40,000 emails. It's just too much work. So you may want to look at the past 3 months or even year to date. And then look at all those emails, and you have these buckets like follow up, waiting, and read through. During that time, you clean up all the emails and you sort it out. And every single day, when emails come in, a few things happen. Either A, they get categorized in one of these labels, or they just get archived all the time. So my inbox is always to inbox zero. That's why it's called that way, inbox zero. So that's one of the methodologies that I would have my EAs do. I constantly manage my inbox just like this. And anything that needs to be follow up, waiting, or I need to read through, it's all tagged, all categorized here on the side. So I'm always on top of it. The next thing, calendar management. My calendar pretty much used to look like this, and it's a lot cleaner now. And yes, there are weeks and there are days where it's just pure insanity, but my EA is constantly looking at, all right, conflicts, what's realistic, don't forget travel time. If I'm going to a location, block off travel time and stuff like that to make sure that everything is nice and organized. Sometimes, let's say, oh, my child needs to be picked up from school a little bit earlier. She's not feeling well. I just message Eliza, my EA, and say, hey, Eliza, please reschedule the rest of the day. I need to pick up my child from school. She's not feeling well, and it's done. I don't have to stress out about it, right? I don't have to go into my calendar. I'm like, oh my God. And I got to talk to everyone else in the meeting. Hey, sorry, it doesn't work. That's something that Eliza, my EA, would send out and say, hey, David needs to take care of something personal. Something came up. Can we reschedule? And that's all it takes. And then internal communications, because we have a lot of team members now and we have different departments. We have a daily digest every single day. At the end of the day, we have announcements of, okay, what's going on from a company-wide announcement, and then individual departments of what's happening in each department. So what my EA does, her primary responsibility is to ensure this communication is sent out at the end of the day. But before it gets sent out, ensure that all leadership, all team leads are putting in the information into this email document to blast out to the company wide. So this way, everyone is on the same page. Now, external communications after a sales call. So this is something that you can do right now and you should be doing. After every single meeting, especially a sales call, you want to send out the meeting notes. Thanks for the meeting, thanking them for their time. This is the next meeting day. Here are the action items for them and for you. And this is some additional key takeaways. Okay. And I see that in this call, there's some AI tools, right? Like we use Phantom, there's Read.ai, there's other tools. And one agency owner said to me, why do you need to do this? There's AI tools. And here's my response. Yeah, you're right. The AI tools, this is a tool, right? It's just like a kitchen knife, but you still need a chef, right? So one scenario would be during the call, the AI is taking notes, but also my EA's with me taking notes too. And one of the conversations, I might ask Eliza, oh, we have a document. We have a Google Doc that can help you with the scenario that you need. And let me send that over to you. Eliza, can you find that document, get that link, send that file over? At this moment in time, AI cannot do that. So what AI can do is really provide a good summary, maybe create some action points, but it doesn't have full context of everything outside the meeting. The AI is still not good enough to be able to put together a clear, concise meeting notes after the call. So some of the things from an operational support side, here's like a quick message from what Eliza was doing research on with Gemini and one of the issues we had with TikTok Lives. And then back and forth talking to Charlene, which is part of our marketing team, on working on our TikTok Lives. So you can see here, my EA is coordinating. So this example here, the screenshot is coordinating with our marketing team on getting that moving forward. Sometimes I'm so busy from meeting to meeting, and I might have an idea that pops up in my head. Like, oh yeah, what about this? Or where are we at with that? So rather than for me to have a long conversation with a certain team member about that, I would just ask Eliza, hey, Eliza, can you check with this department? Where are we at with that? And get back to me on that. And she goes out and does all the research and talks to the individuals and gives me the executive summary. Okay. And then same here, Eliza is also helping Charlene here with the research task. in the marketing side. So here's some other examples where EA can help you with. On the finance support side, invoice preparation, dispatch. If you use like QuickBooks or Xero or any accounting tool, just creating an invoice, you should have the product set up. Every time a customer says, hey, I'm interested, where do I start? One of the first steps is, well, send the proposal and then send the invoices. Sometimes both at the same time. If you're creating the invoices yourself, you shouldn't be. Right? Your EA can do that for you, and at the very least, create the draft and for you to review. So it's 50% done by somebody else is better than 100% done by you. Right? Think of it that way. Contract filling, tracking, making sure that the individual like signed off on the proposal, signed off on the contract before we move forward. On payment reminders and follow-ups. Now we're lucky enough to be big enough. We have a whole separate department, an accounting team to handle that. But in the very, very beginning, where there's not a lot of invoices, not a lot of contracts, not a lot of payment reminders, your EA can do that for you in the beginning. But understand that as you scale, as you grow, 40 hours, even in the beginning, is barely enough. So you're going to need to hire more specialists in different areas, right? And that's great. That's a sign that your organization is growing. Marketing and sales support, lead gen, researching potential new client leads to your niche, companies needing video content, websites, social media campaigns. Maybe you're going after the real estate market in Tampa. Okay, I would ask my EA, give me all the real estate organizations in Tampa, give me all the Instagram, highlight some of the video content that really pops, that really resonates, and then see what they're doing and how we can further help them. Or maybe find the content that's not very good and we can produce something as an example to show them so we can at least get in the door. So that's lead gen. CRM and sales support. Maintain your CRM system, making sure everything's organized. Sales decks, like this presentation, slide deck, putting that together. A video sales letter, helping you put together that script. And then in our video sales letter, but also during our sales calls, we have a separate Canva slide deck for that. My EA is helping me put that together. And I would give her a rough draft. Here's some of the key points and bullets I want to start off with. Make sure we talk about that. And can you help me finish the outline? And we'll go back and forth with the outline and then create the presentation for me. It's actually been probably years now where I had to create a slide deck from scratch. It's always, I'm working on the outline and my EA is helping me create the Canvas slides. All I do is just make some tweaks to it. Okay. Client onboarding, prepare welcome kits, schedule introductory meetings, and ensure new clients feel supported from day one. So benefits of having an EA, the CEO, right? Time freedom, reduce mental load, enhance professionalism. And for your customers, right? Smooth start, clear communication, and positive first impressions. So these are the key points, both for you and for your customers. The key takeaway, EA's drive for operational efficiency. So that way you can focus on the strategic growth of your organization. So action items, list your current onboarding tasks, right? Spot your agency bottlenecks there and consider an EA, like what can your EA do based on these tasks, and plan for your EA search. I just thought of kind of like an analogy, like having an EA, it's like a power tool. All right. If you don't know or you're not trained in utilizing that power tool, you could hurt yourself, right? Or you could damage the item that you're trying to like drill in or saw, right? So in the beginning, just learn, master your craft and really get a good understanding of what it takes. Document everything that you can. And then as soon as you can, get help, right? Get the EA. Do not fall into the trap of, I'm going to do everything myself because no one else can do it better than I can. Don't wait multiple years. If I were to restart in less than 6 months, I would immediately start hiring. Okay. For us, onboarding, specifically for our EAs, we have 2 documents that we use. It's our 90-day onboarding process. So it's 90 days long. And the 2 documents, document 1, you can see here, is general onboarding. This onboarding doc will cover anyone that works here, okay, full time. they go through this onboarding. The other document is specifically for the EA. So think of it this way. Every time we bring on someone for a particular role, they always get the general onboarding, and then they also get the role-specific onboarding. And the document looks very closely the same. It's organized the same way, structured the same way. Like days 1 through 10 is on the bottom, and then the weeks down below. Okay. So what does onboarding look like, right? For us, at least, right? We have an agency. And so days 1 through 10 were very specific, and we show this document. This is what it looks like. I know it's a lot, it's overwhelming, but here's the thing. People appreciate the clarity and the direction and the details more so than uncertainty. Just put yourself in the shoe. Would you rather have someone like, oh yeah, welcome, we don't have anything for you, just shadow me or just follow me along for the next few days and then we'll figure something out, versus here's a game plan. Here's pretty much every single day, every single week. These are the things that will get you through the first 90 days. And this is how our 90 days is broken up. Month 1, learning. Month 2, implementation. Month 3, optimizing what you've learned and implemented. So day 1, orientation, onboarding, the basic stuff, setting up their email, setting up their tools, and some videos to watch, like the 90-day plan from Harvard, or improving communication, and how do you focus at work. So some like non-technical, but still very important. When we bring on individuals, and same thing with you, they come from all walks of life. Right? They have different experiences, different ideologies, different good and bad experiences from prior workplaces. In the beginning, it's about setting the mindset. What is the culture here? What is the mindset that we have? And so that's why I established it that way. Don't worry too much about the technical stuff. Don't worry, we will go into the technical stuff later. And because if they weren't qualified, they didn't have the necessary experience and skills for the role that they were offered, we wouldn't even offer. They wouldn't pass the recruitment process anyways. So this individual is already qualified from a technical end. And we see traits in the individual that would be a good fit for our culture already. So that's why this piece is more of just adding on top of that mindset. Day 2, inbox 0, calendar, meetings. Day 3, using AI, so Gemini in this case, our project management system, Smart Suite, and then we also have them take a personality test. And we compare personality tests between my personality and the new hire's personality, and just clearly show like the reason why we will have differences, we may have disagreements, we may argue, is not because we don't like each other, it's because our personalities are different. And it's important that we address that and we understand that. So we go deeper into that. Brain type, go high level. That's one of the tools that we use for marketing. And then training on US client interactions. Okay, so some training content. So we start from the very beginning. And then role specific, right? And then day 7, Canva, more role specific work. And whenever you see role specific, it's basically referencing this other onboarding guide, okay? So we got more role specific, day 9, role specific, and then day 10, more ongoing education. For us, if anyone is interested in, let's say, an online course or a work conference they want to be part of, they send us a budget request approval and either approve or deny or make adjustments to that. But we're all into education. I've sent out our team to special events, special conferences all together, just so they can improve. And so education is really important, especially nowadays, right? With AI, it's constantly changing. And same thing as the week goes further on, there's still some content throughout the other weeks, but it's now more of doing the work and shadowing their colleagues or shadowing their manager in this case. Okay, so that's how our onboarding works. Suki, Justin, do you have any questions?
So we have this general onboarding, and then you said there's like a role specific. So basically we're creating like a whole new document for all things pertaining to, say, if I hired a designer, like it's all like designer related.
Correct. For example, here, let's look at this one right here, right? This is for EAs, right? Let's say confirm attendance for calls. Your designer's not going to do that. It's not relevant. And vice versa, your designer might be working in Photoshop or Illustrator or Canva, but the really advanced stuff in Canva, it's not relevant to your EA. These two documents right here, okay, it's a living document. It's dynamic. It's constantly growing and changing. Okay. So whenever I see good content that, yeah, you know what, we should be including that as part of our training or onboarding, that I immediately add it in here. Actually, I sent it to Eliza, my EA, and she adds it in here. And it's constantly evolving. But here's the thing, if there's content that's related to both or related specifically to a role, but if I put in the general doc, then it's confusing. Or if I have a general doc and the role specific doc all in one, that means then Eliza, my EA, would have to update all the docs for every single role. And that doesn't make sense either, right? So that's why we split it this way. One for general, for everyone in the company, and then another one for role specific.
Gotcha.
Do you have any other questions?
In regards to hiring an EA, is it just an hourly thing? I need it for 3 hours, I pay them for 3 hours, or is it like, do they get a retainer? How does that usually work?
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you hire hourly? Yes, you can. You could go to Upwork and you can go to even online jobs, but I do not recommend that. And here's why. It's better to hire full time because you want the individual to really focus in your organization. They're your sidekick, right? But if they're only working 3 hours and there's 3 hours a week, let's say, what are they going to do with the 37 hours, right? Or even if you give them 10 hours, what are they going to do with the other 30 hours? They still need to make a living. They still need to pay the bills. And if they're in that mode and they're not really focused or committed to the organization and focused on helping you, then they're like, okay, out looking for other opportunities. And this is what could happen. This other employer, they're giving me a full-time opportunity. They're giving me benefits. I can't help you anymore. And it's going to happen at the worst time, absolute worst time, right? And so that could happen. But also, ultimately, whenever possible, the general rule of thumb, anything that's part of your core business, you want to bring in full-time, bring in-house. Anything that's not part of your core business, then contract out. Because your core business, your core operations, right? You want to have as much control of the quality as possible. So that's why I would rather hold off on hiring an EA until I can budget and afford a full-time hire. And really, the budget's not even that crazy. So if you hire a local EA, in the US, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, right? Especially like a W-2 equivalent, it's $5K a month. If you hire an EA full-time in the Philippines with benefits, that's typically like working with us, around $1,500 to $1,800 a month. Full-time, 40 hours a week. So I would say as soon as I have the revenues to support that, immediately I would hire an EA and then I can double my output. And that's how I look at it. Thank you for being here. If you have any other future questions, I'm in Agency U. Feel free to message me and ping me if you need anything or have any questions. And also, if you have any suggestions on future training content, let me know. I'll put it together. All right. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. All right. See ya.